Hello viewers, hello Uganda, hello UBC. I'm happy to be here this morning to tell you more about FUNDaFIELD.
And Kira.
Hello viewers, I'm Kira from FUNDaFIELD.
Jenny.
Hello viewers, I'm Jenny from FUNDaFIELD.
So you're glad to be hosted in UBC. Are you happy here?
Yeah, I really love it here.
So I'll start with you, Kira. What is FUNDaFIELD?
Okay, well, so before I begin, I should tell you how FUNDaFIELD was started. In 2006, my brothers, I have two brothers, Garrett and Kyle, they were lucky enough to go to the World Cup in Berlin, Germany. Yeah. And when they were there, they got to go to the game of Iran versus Angola. And so my brothers, they love soccer, and everyone at the stadium was so passionate. And when they were there, the entire stadium was Iran, and there was a tiny sliver of Angola fans. Yeah. But the fans from Angola were by far the most passionate and crazy, and the whole time they were beating their drums and standing and waving their flags, and they were just loving it. And even though they lost, they had the best time. Okay. And so afterwards, my brothers were talking to them, and they learned about the civil war in Uganda and how their kids don't have a place to play soccer, or maybe they don't even have shoes. And this was shocking to my brothers who, back in America, we do have shoes and we do have a place to play football. And so when they returned, they got together with some of their friends and they were going to send over some uniforms. Yeah. But as they were doing that, they said, well, why'd we send over uniforms if they have nowhere to play? So my naive 13 and 15-year-old brothers decided they were going to build soccer fields in Africa. Little did they know that what a task that would be. But so that was how FUNDaFIELD was started. And now FUNDaFIELD, we are a non-profit organization, and we build soccer fields in the developing world to help youth have a chance to play. Okay.
So I'll go to you again. Why are you in Uganda? Why did you choose Uganda in particular? I mean, it's sort of Angola, yes, but why did you, particularly in East Africa, we have Tanzania, we have Kenya, we have Uganda, we have Rwanda, and Burundi. Why did you choose Uganda?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Uganda, when we were looking at places to build our fields, we heard about the Coney Wars and the tragedies that this country has gone through. And it just seemed like a place that could use soccer. And we can see when we come here just how passionate everyone is about football and how you bring out a ball, every kid wants to play. Yeah. And so it seemed like the perfect place. And another thing that is important to FUNDaFIELD is our partner organizations. And we have a lot of partners that work with us in Uganda, such as Isaac. Yeah. He's our in-country director. And so with these organizations, we are able to develop a good base, and we've just been expanding from there.
Okay, let me bring you in, Isaac, here. I mean, how does Uganda benefit from FUNDaFIELD?
Uganda benefits from FUNDaFIELD in so many ways. First and foremost, we've had several fields that have been constructed in the country. We've constructed some in Jinja, we've constructed some in Buyukwe, some in Chiboga. Just in
hold it there. Buyukwe, there's a stadium which belongs to Biko Red Star. Have you rebuilt that stadium? Have you put some infrastructure around the stadium?
No, the one we've constructed is at a school called St. Andrews. Okay. Yeah, just near Lugazi. We've constructed one that is at St. Andrews, then another one is at Buliantete. Then we have two in Chiboga that we shall be opening next week. Yeah. So Uganda has benefited by having these fields constructed because usually fields are very expensive, you also know that. But these students have been able to provide us a gift of fields. They also hold football tournaments. We've had several of them. And during our tournaments, they do give out things free of charge. We don't normally charge anything. And during those tournaments, the winning team is usually at least given a very good gift. And we give out cleats to the teams that do play. So in that way, we do feel it's a unifying factor. Given the various problems we've been having in the country, and given the fact that these tournaments are carried out in villages, we do feel that everybody deserves a chance to play. Okay. Not only people playing in Nambole or elsewhere, but even in the villages, the people do feel they need a chance to play.
So, I mean, as a Ugandan, we are glad that you brought these people on board. But how do you benefit as Mubabi Isaac? Because anybody, Ruben would come and say, I cannot work for FUNDaFIELD. They're bringing a lot of money. I also need to get some. So, I mean, are you doing a charity thing, or you are being paid to what you do? Because you're the country director for FUNDaFIELD. And how do you manage? How do you earn it? How do you earn from FUNDaFIELD?
Sincerely, from FUNDaFIELD, I'm a volunteer.
Okay.
I have studied, I have gone to the university, and I've always felt it that it's a chance working with them, because I started working with them about 5 years ago. And once I was going to school, I always felt it that the best thing I can do for my community, we do not study to get white-collar jobs, but we do study to help people in our communities. So once I got a chance to work with FUNDaFIELD, when I was still a youth, I felt it was the best opportunity I can have. So they don't pay me, but the work they have done in the villages, in our communities, I feel it's the best they can do for me, given the fact that they are young kids, and they're doing a lot in the villages. It's just enough to feel that it's enough pay for me. Okay,
so I will still stick with you, Mubabi Isaac. I mean, a colleague of mine called Jagenda Samakula Zikusoka, I would love to know, why did you choose Mukono and Wiyukwe? There is Kapichora, there is Arua, there is even Imbarara or Chisoro. Why are you within the central area? Is it because of transport, or you are simply being tribal and saying, I'm going for Baganda only, when the Achoris also they have kids who can play football? So tell us, why are you in Bukona and Buyukwe only? Why not Arua? Why not Mbarara? Why not Kisoro?
Basically, you know that our land policy does matter a lot. Our first field was supposed to be constructed in Gulu, given the fact that our mission statement, we always want to work in communities that have been affected by war and are traumatized. But in Gulu, their land policy has been a little tricky. Normally, leaders have to sit and agree on whether to give out land. We normally do construct fields on land that has been donated. So in the central is where we first had land donated by schools, where we would construct schools. And that's why our first fields were constructed in villages within Buyukwe and Jinja. And we've had some now constructed in Chivoga. And in our plan to come, we do hope that we are going to construct more fields in areas you've mentioned in the north, in the west, and all other areas.
Still, I will stick with you again. I mean, some of our people in the villages would think that you are land grabbers. You are coming into this shade of like, we are FUNDaFIELD, we are here to construct a stadium, yet you have come to grab land. How are you going to address that problem? How are you going to sensitize the peasants in the villages that we are here to actually modernize the district, we are here to build stadiums? So have you put a team in place to come and sensitize them on that? Because you are going to face resistance in some districts whereby you are going to say, we don't want you here, leave our stadiums, just go away. How are you going to handle that situation?
Normally, given the experience we have established a questionnaire. Before we do construct a field in a community, we first give them a questionnaire that is filled. Once they do fill the questionnaire, we do go back and follow what is written in the questionnaire. So once we go to a community, we don't construct fields for FUNDaFIELD. The best thing we can do for them, we feel they do own the fields. They are theirs, and once we construct them on their land, we hand them over to them. We normally have what they call a field committee that we do handle the field to. All right.
Kira, let me bring you in, Kira. What are the challenges you have actually encountered in the country? I mean, it's not easy for somebody coming from out getting in the country. There are so many challenges. There's resistance, you have mosquitoes around. I mean, okay, besides that, what are the challenges you've encountered in the FUNDaFIELD?
In FUNDaFIELD, well, the first part is, even if this isn't even in Uganda, but FUNDaFIELD is a completely kid-run organization. So it is run by Jenny, me, kids in the US. And so we go to school, we play sports, we try to hang out with friends, like, in time. So
sports like what? Rugby, football, cricket?
No, I play football, soccer. And so getting the time to help everyone, we want to help people as much as we can. So time can be a major issue for us. And then traveling here, which is 25 hours of travel. But even once we overcome that, there are challenges in Uganda, as there would be, because when you think of the field, we have to think of it as a construction project. And when you're constructing anything, there's always going to be surprises, even if it's weather or mosquitoes or cows on the field. Like, there are challenges, and the language barrier can be especially difficult. when we're trying to communicate with people. But luckily we have people to help us overcome these, and for the most part we've overcome these challenges.
Okay, let me bring in Jenny here. Jenny, you're part of the funding because you fund this FUNDaFIELD thing. What's your budget for a year? I mean, let's say you are going to fund Uganda for the next 5 years. So how do you budget for a year? Do you work and get a lot of loads of money, or you go around America, some of the cities or states and go demanding for money? So how do you get the money to fund the organization?
Well, I would say on the budget-wise, we don't necessarily have a budget for each year. It kind of depends on how much money we raise each year. And like fundraising, so our funds are based solely on fundraisers and donations. And as Kira already said, we are a kid-based organization. So we have clubs across America, and here these at primary schools and secondary schools and at universities. Yeah. And here these clubs, they get together, they hold fundraisers, and then they help us make money to essentially like build the fields and stuff. And we also we sell paper beads, handmade in Uganda. I'm sure everyone here is familiar with those, and they're very popular in the US, and everyone is so surprised that they're made out of paper. And we also hold other fundraisers such as car washes, where kids will get together on like a Saturday or something, and they wash people's cars for donations. And yeah, like stuff like that. Okay,
so you play football, right?
What?
Do you play football?
Yes, we're on the same team.
You support which club? In America, there is MLS. We have Chicago. Which club do you support in the USA? Football club.
In the USA, I would have to say I don't really have a favorite. Unfortunately, there's not one really close to us. I wish there was. Yeah. But I don't know, I kind of like them all. Okay.
So USA was beaten in the World Cup. How did you feel? Both of you feel?
So sad.
Yeah. So sad. But you went into the tournament thinking that you're going to win the World Cup? That's what you thought? With the players like Jermaine Jones, players like Dempsey, you thought you were going to win the World Cup? That's what you thought you would win the World Cup?
I mean, yes, we're always hopeful for our own country.
But that was kidding yourselves. You cannot win the World Cup as USA.
I mean, I believe in US, but yeah, I mean, there are a lot of really good teams this year.
So as footballers, who do you look at as your role model in football? Is it Lionel Messi? Is it Cristiano Ronaldo? Is it Wayne Rooney? Is it Philip Dempsey from USA? Is it Landon Donovan? Who do you look at as your role model? As you look at him and say, this is a fantastic footballer, I would love to be like him. Who is that person? Who is that player?
I would say for me personally, David Beckham. Okay. He supports FUNDaFIELD a lot, and he has spent time with one of the co-founders supporting FUNDaFIELD, and he's an amazing player, and even though he's not playing in the US so much anymore, I loved watching him when he was on the Galaxy and in the World Cup, and I just think he's really good.
Did you love him because he looked really handsome, or? Because David Beckham was a handsome footballer, so you loved him because of that?
No. He's a good player.
Okay, and you, Jenny, which footballer would you look at for? Like, and actually, which footballer would you look at and say, I wish I was like him?
I would say that I like Ronaldo a lot. I like the way he plays. Like, he has a lot of good moves, and I don't know. And there's also like a few like women footballers in our country that I admire as well. Okay,
so you like Ronaldo because he's tall, 6'2", like Ruben, because of the height, or you just?
No, I wouldn't say the height. I would just say that I think he has really great skills. He's fast. He has great footwork, and I don't know. I just feel like he's great at helping the team win, their team win.
So this should go to you, Mr. Isaac Mugabi. You have actually moved around the country. You've seen kids play football. You would love to grace them with football. So do you have a plan whereby if the kids come up very well, they are nurtured well in your academies, they are taken to US for professional football, or it's just a matter of let us try to make them play for 2-3 years, then we dump them, go to somewhere, get some other kids? Do you have a plan for the kids? That's the question.
We really do have a great plan for kids in this country. First and foremost, we do feel that besides football, kids need to go to school. Yeah. And we've tried as much as possible, as much as we can, to get scholarships and bursaries for kids. both in primary, secondary, and upper school, so that they are able to go and study as an added advantage.
Okay.
Besides that, we have tried as much as possible as well. We are having a project in the pipeline to see that we can get sponsors for kids, such that they can have coaches. We've had some reefs trained, and we are planning some seminars for coaches, such that we do have them coach kids in professional football, such that in case they get to grow up and in case they become really good, so good in football, they're able to earn like international footballers we do look at.
Akira, you found Ruben in a certain, let's say, district in Gulu. He plays so well. And Ruben, let's say Ruben is 13, 12 years or below 10 years. And you would love to take Ruben to the US. Would you make sure that he becomes a citizen of the United States, or you would actually take him, take him through the channels and let him come back to Uganda and play for the country, or you'd love to see him play for the US?
I think that it depends what he wants to play. He probably would want to stay local and play for the Uganda team, which he's grown up in his home. But if he wanted to play for the U.S., I'm sure we would support him.
So let me go to you, Jenny. Looking at what has been happening in the country, do you think that the money you put, the funds you put in here, are going to help Ugandan football develop, or it's a matter of wasting time, according to your observation?
I think it's really going to help. This is actually my first trip to Uganda, and I'm loving it. And it was really cool. A couple days ago, we went to one of the fields we had built, and we saw 2 village teams practicing on it, and we actually gave them some balls in our random ball drop, which we sometimes do. And it was really cool to see. There were kids of several ages with a coach there, and they were all practicing, and they were so happy. And it was just really great to see that what we were doing is actually affecting them and for the best.
Oh, okay. So Kira, when you found somebody like Misach around Uganda, and you would love to go with Misach as a husband, would you take him?
I don't know. I think it just depends on the situation.
So your final remarks, Mugabi, your final remarks to the Ugandans?
My final remarks to the Ugandans. First and foremost, to UBC, we are happy to be here. We are happy to have hosted us. Then to the Ugandans, we do thank you for having taken the initiative to like FUNDaFIELD. We still have a lot of projects in the pipeline, and we do request you to welcome us in the various communities we shall be going. Next week we are going to be opening 2 of our fields in Chiboga, and we do welcome everyone to be on the fields and to make these people feel the impact they have done. Okay. Thank you. Akira,
your final remarks to people in the US and the Ugandans are watching you live on UBC TV. Your final remarks.
Just thank you so much for having us. It's a beautiful country, and I hope we continue to build more soccer fields and let more kids have a chance to play.
Jenny, final remarks.
Thank you for having us. It's been great being here. And yeah, I just hope we can affect as many people as we can with our field.
Okay, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
We came here really early in the morning. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming. Actually, we're looking forward to hosting you again when the project has become bigger. We will not host you when you are failing. We want a project which is going.
Oh, it will be.
Okay. So viewers, actually, that has been FUNDaFIELD Uganda. They are here for talent development and nurturing. Hope to see them again, and hope to see their projects prosper and go. Take Uganda to edges. I've been Ruben on behalf of everybody. Don't forget Jagan is coming up next after us. Bye.